Welcome to 2 on the 10.
Oh, we back again. 2 on the 10.
Yes, sir.
Man,
I'm Paul.
I'm Mitch.
greedy Nick.
Greedy.
Grady. Hey, so we're going to do a little different show this time. It's not going to be our regular format. We're going to give you guys kind of insight to all of our past lives.
Present and future.
To say we're going to give you guys some crazy stories that all of us has been a part of that I think you guys will really enjoy. So
So what are you saying? Welcome to 2 on the 10 Crazy Stories Edition Volume 1.
yeah, volume one.
Volume one.
Exactly. So I hope you guys like kind of an insight to our past. These are definitely some of the stories that have shaped us. Of course, if you guys don't know, we've been friends over 20 plus years. So we've been through a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
We're going to eventually bring folks on a story that you guys will be introduced that you've probably heard us reference, a couple times and kind of go from there. But kind of to start it off, the first story is a story probably about, probably 10 years ago, Nick?
Yeah, probably
7 to 10 years ago? something like that.
probably early 2010s, I'd say.
I'd say 10 to 12 years ago, right? It was a Mayweather fight. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a Mayweather fight that night. So back in the day, I used to have all these big fight parties.
Every big fight was a Paul size. He had the big screen room, the big drop down TV, the big screen projection. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everybody would go.
What was that, 144 inch?
Yes, I used to
Back in the day.
Back in the day, yes. So I had an upstairs, downstairs, and upstairs was my game room that had the projection, and I invite all my friends over. We'd grill. My ex-wife would cook and stuff like that, and then we go upstairs.
Plenty of food, plenty of drinks.
Buffalo chicken dip. I still
Yeah,
love that.
Yep. Shout out to Kim.
Yeah, she could throw down. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I never take anything away from her. She could definitely, cook her ass off. So, but so a friend of ours, his name is DB or David Barry. He played for the New York Jets. He also played for the Arizona Cardinals.
You knew him to the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, I knew him through the Cardinals and stuff like that. But he was a defensive back. I believe he's from Arkansas. Played his college ball in Arkansas.
Played in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. Nick, you knew him through DeVita.
Yeah, good friend of mine, DeVita, that I went to high school with.
shout out
DeVita.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were kind of together at the time. And yeah, I'll let you continue on.
Yeah. So, no, this is after they broke up. So, because I was trying to hook him up with my ex-wife's best friend at the time. They eventually got married, but anyway, it was
So that hookup worked for a while. Worked too good, huh?
it worked too good. So he had brought over. He just got this. He just signed a $20 million deal with the New York Jets.
Yep.
So he's going out there. So he pulls up in his Ferrari 430.
The F430 Rari.
Yeah, beautiful vehicle. I love supercars. There's a certain supercars that I can fit into, and the Ferrari 430 is one of them. I knew that. So after the Mayweather fight, Mitch, I don't know where you were that night. I mean, because normally you're always at
I'm
always
at every
there.
fight.
Yeah.
I'm at
there.
every fight, and let me just add this for the background of it. So I'm definitely at every fight that he had at his house, and so for whatever reason, I was not there that night. That one night, that one time, right?
Yeah.
And David got the Ferrari. I got to ride into it. I don't know if it was before or after my birthday party. He brought me to the casino and that thing, but I think it was after actually, because but here's the crazy thing, and if I can just tell this story just to let you know the impact. After a night of drinking and watching the fights, I know in my mind I would have been in the passenger seat with this dude.
Yeah,
I'll just say that. I think
Oh, yeah.
and I would not have been as responsible as this gentleman, and this will prelude what we're going to talk about.
Exactly.
Which weird things happen in weird ways.
Well, I mean, different people believe in different things, but I believe God was definitely watching over me that night.
Actually, he was watching over me. I just happened to do shit. So you got lucky, bro.
I got lucky. He was with you.
Yeah.
I got you. I feel you.
Man, I'm Catholic, baby. I believe that.
I like it. So, So that night, they're inside getting to know each other. But I want to take this Ferrari out. I want to see what it does. And I live off. At the time, I lived off a freeway. The 202 was not even 1 minute from me.
And there weren't that many cars back then. It was
Yeah, it was kind of a newer.
Yeah, it was a newer stretch, so there wasn't a lot of cars on the backside, and like I said, it was also Saturday night, so there wasn't a lot of cars on.
and the road was good too.
Yeah. Oh, it was brand new. It was a brand new freeway, so the road was definitely good. And so I asked him. I said, "Hey, you mind if I take the Ferrari out and test drive it? I might want one down the road." He was like, "Oh yeah, of course." Through
Keys, yeah.
through the keys.
That's David for you.
Yeah, so he was like, "No problem." Dude he's got a good heart. All the stuff that he had, he was so generous with it. So I was like, "Hey, Greedy, you want to come out and test drive?" He was like, "Of course, let's get in this bike." So
I remember I left my girl. I had brought her over. She was younger, and I was like, "Hey, hang out here for a little bit. We're just gonna go for a quick 5-minute test drive of this Ferrari." And she wanted to go, and I was like, "There's only 2 seats."
It's past curfew.
Yeah, so I left her at the house. She didn't know anybody there really. That was one of probably the first times I really brought her around to one of the parties.
His nickname used to be the Gentleman.
Yeah. So I dropped her there, and me and you jumped in the Ferrari.
yeah, and so we take off, and already just pressing on the gas, you could feel the power of this thing. It jerked your head back immediately, and I was like, "Oh,
Pause.
yeah." And so here's the thing: I do not condone drinking and driving. This was one of those stupid moments that I did, so I'll just let everybody know. But I was definitely feeling a little frisky that night, so I was like, you know what, we're gonna see what this thing can do, and.
And as soon as I got in the car, I knew I was in trouble because we got out of the neighborhood and got onto one of the main streets, which is like a 45-mile-an-hour street. And Paul just hit the gas, and we were up to like 90 in like 10 seconds. We had it barely left the neighborhood. He already had it up to 90.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this." So coming off.
Isn't the police station right by your house too?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. The police station's like 30 seconds from my old house, right? They're right there. But it was crazy. It's like if the closer you live to a police station, there's no cops.
No, you're right. You're
It's
right.
wild.
They say, keep your friends close, your enemies closer.
Yeah, and so if you know where Ellsworth and Guadalupe is, so we were getting off on that exit number 32. I love that exit getting off because that's my number and stuff like that. Another disclaimer: we've talked to the lawyers, all the what is it? The times, the statute of limitations,
Statutes of limitations, the statues of liberties, and
all that have run out.
And this is all alleged.
Alleged.
Yeah, this is all allegedly. So
Crazy Stories, allegedly, Volume 1.
So week off, we're going on to the on ramp, and I'm like, "All right, let's go to work." And soon as by time I get off the off ramp, I'm at 100. At 100, as soon as I hit the highway, and I was like, "Oh yeah, baby!" And I get into it's a 4-lane highway. I get into the 3rd lane, and I just start gunning it, and it starts going so fast where the broken up lines start becoming one.
Yeah, the lane lines look like you're just one solid line.
Like a silent line.
And the cars were passing, the couple cars that are on the freeway, he's making a couple lane changes here and there, look like they're standing still. Yeah, like they're not even moving. Like they're parked and we're doing 100, but they're doing like 65 and we're doing like 165.
I'm on residual for these sound effects, by the way.
So I look down and I'm doing at least 160.
Yeah, it was 160.
Yeah, 160 at this time. And just moving. And all of a sudden we hear this doom. And I was like, I didn't think too much of it. And then Nick turns to me and goes, "I think we just blew a tire."
Didn't you first? The way I heard the story.
No, so let me do this. Let me do it.
Oh,
So we're driving and he's switching lanes back and forth going around cars, and we get to a clearing and he goes to level it out and the car starts kind of drifting back and forth in the lane. We're drifting back and forth over like 2 to 3 lanes doing 160.
Right.
And Paul looks at me and is like, "Man, I thought the handling would be better on this car." He's like, "I can't keep this thing, it's all over the road." And I'm like, "There's something wrong, Paul. We got to slow down there. We're drifting. We're like sliding all over the road. You got to slow down." And he's like, no, everything's good. I'm
See,
like,
that's the difference. If I was in the car, I would have probably politely not said anything or just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm like, Paul, no, you got to slow down, And so me and him are going back and forth with each other. He's thinking it's just the handling's off or something. And I'm like, no, you got to slow down. So we finally, we probably like drifted back and forth for a mile over like 3 lanes, like kind of like we're fishtailing, but he kind of kept it together and we just kept on going. And it was like the back end was kind of wobbling back and forth. And I'm finally like, no, Paul, you just got to slow down. Just slow down a little bit. So he starts dropping the speed, and the speed we got down to like 120, 115. And you start feeling like a rattle, like a doo-doo-doo. I'm like, no, slow down. I think we blew a tire. And he's like, oh, we didn't blow a tire. I'm like, no, I think we blew a tire. So he keeps dropping the speed. And when we got down to about 95 or so, you could hear the do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I'm like, Paul, we blew a tire. He's like, oh, shit. So we come up, we get off on this exit, and
yeah, I think we get off on I think it was the Higley exit that we got all the way down to like Higley.
yeah,
I believe so.
It was far. We probably went like 12 miles in like 2 minutes.
And I was like, oh shit, I gotta pull over. I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to tell him that we blew a tire. And I don't remember if we had our phones or not. I don't think we had our phones too. I think we.
No, I don't remember. I think we had a phone because I remember we had to call a tow truck.
That's right. Yeah. We had to call a tow.
I called my girl and like, it's going to be a little while. And she was like, what are you doing? Where are you? I'm like, we just blew a tire and we're like 12 miles away from the house now. She's like, you just left 5 minutes ago. I'm like, yeah.
It was bad. But, I thought it was just a tire. No, I ate up the whole wheel well, fender.
Well, yeah, those are all the fiberglass. So
Yeah.
when that tire blew, it just ripped through the fiberglass in the wheel well and just destroyed.
Come to find out, that was a $28,000 tire blown.
Can we bomb that?
This was Paul when he looked at it.
Oh yeah, I was like, shit.
Damn.
So I was watch feet. Yeah. So I mean, we got it. I mean, they towed it to.
We ended up having to get a special tow truck too because the car was so low.
Oh, yeah.
That the regular tow truck couldn't get it up without like damaging the front bumper and the fiberglass on the front of the car.
You guys towed to Jiffy Lube?
No, I don't think the Jiffy Lube fixes those types of cars. He actually took it to Discount Tire and said, "Can you fix this?" And they were like,
Costco?
Nope.
Costco.
No, but the fortunate thing, like I told you, David is such a good guy. He was like, man, don't worry about it.
Hey, the fortunate thing, David was paid.
It was good. He was like, man, don't worry about it. Things happen. And
Better man than me.
but what's a cool thing is, my ex's best friend was like, I'll take you home. And they ended up going home together and then eventually ended up getting married. So he wasn't too upset about it.
It was an expensive first night
Yes.
and then an expensive divorce.
Yes, but he wasn't too upset about the night, because he eventually got his future ex-wife out of.
And remember that girl? Like there was some questions, maybe one of her exes.
Oh, well, first of all, who brought that up?
Yeah.
Who brought that up?
That's what I'm saying.
You did. Definitely. There might have been. She was getting out of a breakup at the time, and you had questioned, hey, those cars are made to go fast.
Yeah.
Made to go
the fact
fast.
that it's tire just blew.
Now, it also could be I didn't warm up the tires. If you ever seen like the IndyCar races, they go back and forth and warm up the tires. But that's also a possibility. That cat was very.
Hey, you warmed him up doing 70 out of your neighborhood.
Well, let's put it this way. There's some history afterwards. We could talk about that later, or maybe never, because it's kind of heavy on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's some history afterwards that makes you go. Because I remember we talked, and I remember we were working out for our get the boat ready stuff. So that had to be 9 or 10 probably, because that was the boat stuff. Once I got to the stores in 11, we didn't really do the boats anymore. And so I just remember we're on the treadmill, and I go, "Hey, do you think it was this?" And he's like, "Nah, that dude ain't built that way." Remember, that's what you said.
Right.
And then now we find out, that other shit.
Yeah.
And now you're like,
He is built that way.
I mean,
it is a possibility.
Again, when we're insinuating, I'm insinuating he might have slashed the tire.
Yeah, but
So either way, I mean, we were definitely being looked down upon on that night.
yeah, because easily the tire could have blown and we could have
and
flipped it.
yeah, that car would have flipped.
The fiberglass.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Doing 160, you're gonna just keep flipping.
Yeah, and we probably wouldn't be here right to this day.
And I don't even want to say it like that, but if I was there, I wouldn't have been as cautious as Nick. Not saying I'm trying to be dumb about it, but just It is what it is.
It is what it is. So
Yeah, yeah.
It was just one of them, it was one of them stories.
God works in mysterious ways.
I always tell Paul, man, remember that time I saved your life? So you could thank me later.
Thank you, Nick.
Hey,
You know-
it's all good.
You guys' story, I know I'm going to go into a different story, but man, that reminds me so much of a crazy ass story that not many people know about with me and Ryan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's coming back from our first show ever from the Magic Show. He drove his Camry back at the time. And I have to have him here to do justice to the show, to the story. But it's a crazy story where it's kind of similar like type shit where you kind of question how you're still here type shit.
Gotcha.
And so I'm gonna have to Ryan from Guest List, he's gonna have to come out here and share this story.
We're definitely gonna have to have him on the show.
Oh, of course.
Here.
There's so many. Here's the crazy part. When I was having dinner with him that night, I'm like, man, if we get you on the show or whatever, I just want to talk about like just life shit because we have so much life experience. So it's like we're throwing this story.
Right.
That story led this off. There's so many of these, and I don't know. Maybe other people live those too.
Right.
But I know that's what we're doing is telling ours.
Right. I would love to tell Ryan's story. Coming from kind of a rags to riches.
Oh yeah, no, the whole story. The whole story is an amazing story.
Yep.
And people think, that looking on the outside, looking in on our relationship and stuff. I'll just say this, man. It's something that I applaud, and I'm also proud of to be a part of. Through good, bad, and different. And all of it.
Yep.
So now to switch topics to a different story. Now, this is before I met you guys, but this is a crazy story. I'm with, and I know you mentioned him many times on here, good friend of yours, good friend of all of ours, actually a brother to me, Tomar, Professor Johnson, actually. He's actually a doctor, so congratulations.
Yeah, we definitely got to bring Toe
Oh,
on.
no, of course.
If you ever see this man, he one of the coolest cats that you ever meet. Definitely don't look like a professor.
He definitely don't look like a professor. In fact, my friends have said that before. Mitch don't know professors.
But no, he's very, very intelligent.
Oh yeah, no, very intelligent brother. On top of that, dad of the year. Like with all his kids. First of all, his firstborn son is my godson. So shout out to Markel.
Yep.
Love that dude. And then his daughter Lexi just graduated a year early from Howard. And I want to say summa cum laude. And it's possibly put this way. Being from our city, I want to do this justice, but I want to say she got accepted to Harvard if she wants. And that's crazy because I don't know anybody from Harvard other than the people I don't, it's Colombo. But I don't know them. I don't want to know them. But no. So dancing over. So yeah, shout out to Toe. He was with me on this. So I'd love to get him back here, and then you will have a doctor and a professor to vouch for the story, or at least tell his version of it, because this shit don't make sense.
All right, let me hear it.
This is the story that gets me so open minded about life.
Okay.
So, all right.
I ain't heard this one, so give it to me.
All right, so here we go. Back when, this is back in the early '90s. I had just got my Acura Integra, and in the Bay Area we did things a little different. So the Acura back then in the early '90s would be like having the Benz now, or would be like having. I don't want to go too far as Lambo, Ferrari type shit because it's but having an Acura Integra. If you had the Acura Legend, that'd be like having the Bentley. If we're talking about how the '90s made you feel type shit.
Right.
But so I had my Ac. Don't even know how I got it, but I was able to whip that up with a little help, shit. And so we used to go to this club, and again we're in Vallejo. I'm in junior college going to DVC, but there's this club on UC Davis's campus. It's one of my all-time favorite clubs, very memorable to me. It's called the Graduate. And it was on the campus of UC Davis. So it's about a 45-minute drive from Vallejo. Now, and it kind of reminds me, because you guys are from Arizona, and it kind of reminds me of a smaller version of Club Rio. So like it had the bleachers, and then when the music starts, they play that noise, and then they move out the dance floor and stuff. It was kind of the same thing, but it was a smaller version, right off the campus too, just like that. So and people would come from all over, especially, here's the funny thing, because the Bay was a lot harder. So people that wanted to go out and dance and have fun, they go to Pockets sometimes. So you go to Davis, and so you meet people from Sac, you meet people from Rockland, El Dorado, Folsom, whatever, like all these little cities. And so we came from Vallejo, instead of going north to San Fran and battling it out there, Walnut Creek and all this other stuff, being around all the folks from Oakland, which was fun. But we kind of were starting to like wear our welcome out because we were there all the time, so everybody knew us. So I'm like, I want to go to these other spots, meet new girls and dance and whatever. So the Grad was it, man. And everybody like we're from Vallejo and whatever. Like we were like, and Into Deep was just, starting to play, back then, so it was like we were getting a lot of love because shout out to JT and Into Deep and TL and them, because when they play that song, it was like Vallejo was just, our chests were pumped up, at these clubs. So okay, so we're dancing, we're meeting these couple of girls, and I remember there were these two white girls. They were from Rockland. I'd seen them there a few times. They had they had the swag back then. They like dressed like TLC, so they'd have like the crazy. Everybody was cross colored out. They had the crazy cross colors. They had their band, their what's it called, the suspenders and stuff, and they could dance. So they were cool. They were one was a blonde, one was a brunette. So me and Toe meet them. We're dancing with them. We're vibing. It's cool. So we're dancing with them the rest of the night. So afterwards, like, what are you guys going to do? Well, we're going to head back, back to Vallejo. What are you guys doing? Well, we got to work tomorrow in Rockland, which Rockland, for people that know, is about an hour past Sacramento, I think. And so from Vallejo, that's a 3-hour difference. And so anyway, they're like, hey, but we're down to kick it. So we're like, oh shit, well, Toe had a spot, whatever. I think his parents weren't there or whatever. So, and he lives right next door to me. So cool. So they follow us. We go halfway down the trip. There's a little break-off point, Cordelia, where Scandy is and stuff. Toe's like, just of course, typical Toe. Hey, I want some Taco Bell real quick. I'm like, all right, bro. It's like 2 a.m. All right, cool. We'll get Taco Bell. They used to have, before times were super crazy, they used to have a 24-hour Taco Bell on the side of the road, So we'd pull over to the side. We get Taco Bell. The girls didn't want nothing. So they're up front. So we're getting ready to get back on the freeway. All of a sudden, we see this Impala pull up to the side, or it's a Impala-like car. It might have been a Falcon. It might have been something else. Old, white, long car from the 60s, maybe late 50s, early 60s. And we're like, damn, these dudes are already trying to hit on our chicks. like man, it's about to go down or whatever. Like I'm getting ready, like we got to fight.
Right.
I'm thinking it's a few different cats or whatever trying to holler at these girls. And so we are about to enter the freeway. They pull in. We're following. They pull into this little side area where there's like this kind of rest stop pickup where like people would carpool in the Bay Area. So they pull into this little carpool parking lot before we hit the freeway. And they just start driving in a circle, and the car's driving around in a circle following them. And we're just sitting there like spectators, like, what the fuck's going on? These dudes going to get out the car? What are they going to do? Like we're ready for whatever.
Right.
And about the third turn, they're like just chasing each other in this fucking circle. It makes no sense. I get it, I look, and the dude's a ghost-colored old man with white fucking hair.
Okay.
Like looks like
Santa Claus?
Like no, not like Santa Claus, like I don't know, Christmas Past or something like the dude looks like pale and he's got white hair. And honestly, I was kind of freaked the fuck out. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Like I'm thinking it's young dudes, we're fighting, whatever. And then they're looking at me, just go. And the look on their face is terrified. Okay. So we're like, what the fuck? Let's go. So we fucking take off back on the freeway. They take off. The dude takes off.
Okay.
And he's pulling up. So we follow the girls and he's fucking trying to pull up to them. And I was notorious back in the day for always rolling with a CO2 pellet gun with like darts in the front, like metal darts. That shit could, take out anything almost. So I'm like, this dude's fucking being a weirdo. He's like driving with us. So I don't even want to say what I do, but like we roll down the window, and I won't say who or what to protect the innocent and the guilty, but somebody lets out some rounds on the dude, and they go right in his door. Toom, 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 right in the fucking dude's door.
Right.
Now the dude's like, oh shit, and he turns right.
Okay.
And he takes the exit to go to Napa.
Okay.
There's a place called Red Top. It's like a milk farm, and there's a freeway that goes to Napa.
Okay.
You keep going straight, you hit Vallejo, whatever. There's a little exit for Union 76 gas station right there. Okay, to my knowledge, you can't go back around the farms or anything. Like you go to Napa, or you turn back around, go back on the freeway and exit to Red Top, right? Cool. So we pull over, they pull over, and we're talking to them real quick, the girls. And I remember our backs are to the fucking gas station. The girls are there, talking to us in front. And they're like, that dude's crazy and blah, blah, blah. And this one's like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck? I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Right.
And literally in like slow motion, I'm talking to the girl, April, the blonde.
Okay.
And she's looking at me. And then she's looking through me or past me. And I look at her eyes and they just change.
Well, first of all,
Yes,
that's the same April you introduced me to back in the day.
I don't even know what April Fools? I don't know. No.
From San Francisco?
No, first of all, that ain't April. That was somebody else.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
So, man, I'm really assuming the podcast gets ranged. Like I can't say names and shit. So her eyes bulge the fuck out of her head, and I'm like, what the fuck? I look back, and I swear on everything, the dude's coming from the back of the gas station in his car.
Holy shit.
And Now I'm thinking, and now I'm like I'm like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I fucking spin because I'm freaked the fuck out.
Right.
And like, I kind of started spinning in the car and I kind of almost catch us up in this turn. She's like, what are you doing? So I turn back, I cut back right to go north back to Vallejo.
Right.
And I'm jamming. And part of me is like, man, truthfully, fuck these bitches. Let's go. You know? And Toe's like, well, bro, what the fuck is going on? We're trying to figure what the fuck's going on.
Right.
We're trying to figure it out logically. Like, I don't think there's a road back there. How the fuck did you just come back from the back of the gas station?
Right.
And I'm freaked the fuck out now. Like, I go, I ain't driving to my house right now. I don't want this fucking motherfucker knowing where I live. Fuck this shit. I watch too many scary movies as it is, you know? So I swear to everything, you know me, I come up with fucking some solutions. I go, Toe's like, what we gonna do? Man, I don't want him to come to my house either, you know? I go, let's drive through the Crest. The Crest is like one of the two main hoods that are known in Vallejo. The Crest is where Mac Dre's from. You know, the other hood that is well known as Hillside, from where E40's from. Right. The one thing about the Crest, there's really only two ways in. You know, one way in, one way out, really.
Yeah.
And when you go down Gateway, everybody's outside selling rocks back in the day. You know, just playing music. Shit goes on till 4 a.m.
Right.
You know, and if you're not a brother, you better know people because they fucking will chase your ass. You know, and the cops don't even go down the street.
Gotcha.
So thankfully, I played ball with a lot of cats, and Toe has a lot of family in there. So he's like, yeah, you're right. Let's go to the Crest. Let's go to the Crest. So we pull up. There's like 20 people outside dancing and whatever else, fizzing and, you know, and everything. And so I'm like, man, you know, so we say, what's up? The girls are like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you know, and then, you know, so we pull through, we go around back, we exit the other side, right? Now, we only live about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from the Crest.
Right.
So we dip back real quick. And normally I'd leave my car outside sometimes. I go, hey, Toe. I go, hey, get out real quick. And I run, put my car in the garage, and I pull the garage down. I'm looking around. There's nobody on the street. Cool.
Right.
So the girls, we go over next door, you know, kick it with them, whatever. So long story short, they leave in the morning or whatever. They go back to Rockland or whatever. Cool. All right. So about a day or two later, I get a phone call. And this is back in the house phone days with your house or your phone with the cord. You're in the other room.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I'll take it over here. Okay, I got it. You know, cord's all tangled.
I love that long ass.
Yeah, you got to untangle the cord and shit. So I go, hey, what's up? Hey, Mitch, this is April. You know, whatever. Hey, what's up, April? What's going on? Hey, I just want to let you know that other night was crazy, wasn't it? I go, yeah, it was, right? What the fuck was that about? She goes, all right, I just want to say some shit, but don't freak out, okay? I go, all right, what's up? She goes, I'm a witch.
What?
And I'm like, what?
Okay.
And keep in mind, there's no internet, there's no stories. Like, bro, like, you know, I went to Catholic school, so I'm already like, you know, throwing holy water on the phone and shit. You know? And she goes, but don't worry, I'm a good witch. I'm a white witch. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck a white witch is. You know, what's it called? You witch you. You know, no, but and she goes, but see, like, so white witches are good witches, you know, so don't worry, you know, whatever. And I'm just quiet. She goes, I hope you're cool, you know, with that and everything. And in my head, I'm like, nope, I'm not cool with that shit. But then she tells me, and then I just want to let you know that this guy that, you know, was chasing us, he was sent to destroy me. And she used the word destroy. And we're talking the early 90s. We're talking this chick's 18, you know?
Yeah.
Destroy?
Right.
What young person uses the word destroy?
Right.
Like, you know, and I'm just sitting there. She goes, so I hope this doesn't end up changing anything between us. I'd love to hang out and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, click.
Lose my number.
And I don't think anything of it. No intentions of ever, you know, so cool. So now let's fast forward. Now, keep in mind for the people, and I'm sorry if I'm dragging this, will be done in a sec, but let's fast forward 2 years. Right? 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Okay. I did see the girl one time, and I didn't say anything. She kind of got mad at that club, but I never saw her again. One more time, you know. But fast forward 2 years. Now I'm going to Sacramento State, which I didn't think I was going to go to. I thought I was going to Long Beach. I ended up going because my boys at DVC went, so we, you know, all went together kind of shit. Mm-hmm. I'm at Sac State. The only job I could get before school started, because we got there late, was I started working at a sandwich shop by campus called Togo's. People in the Bay might know Togo's or whatever. So when I first started, I had to pay my dues. So I had to work the sandwich boards before I became a manager. I had to work the call board on Fridays sometimes to make all the sandwiches for the incoming calls. Back then, you had the old school faxes with the Jiffy Lube paper, you know, like the dot matrix printers, you know, shit out, oh, order from here, you know, making sandwiches. So I get a phone call, you know, for phone order, typical phone order shit on a Friday. You know, hey, Togo's in Fair Oaks. Hey, is this Mitch? I'm like, yeah, hey, who's this? Hey, you might not remember me, but this is April. Remember that crazy guy was chasing us? And I'm like, and I'm just sitting there, my jaw drops, like, you know, and I'm like, and I'm like my skin, the hair on my skin's like standing up, and I got goosebumps, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I don't even have any expression. I don't give a shit. Whatever. I'm like, okay. She says, well, hey, I work right next door at Blockbuster. Is it cool if I come through real quick? Say hi. All right. and I just hang up the phone. Not saying nothing. She walks in, and it's a cute blonde, right? Whatever. Looks a lot more professional than than with the TLC days and stuff. And what's crazy is you got to understand when you're in high school or college, when you used to work at these places, right or wrong, you guys used to always do the trades, right? So you traded with people. So they came in, hey, we got a soda cup. As long as you don't use our cups, you get free sodas, whatever, we'll fill them up for you. Cool. When I go see you, I get free Tecmo Bowl, rentals, So I knew everybody at Blockbuster and they knew us. Yeah. She's walking in wearing a Blockbuster shirt. And guess what? The manager's been there longer than me. Goes, hey, who's that girl that's talking to you, man? She's cute. Never seen her at Blockbuster before. And neither did I. No one did. So she goes, hey, man, I'm right next door. Don't be a stranger. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, gives me this little smile and then walks away. So don't be a stranger. Say hi. She walks away. I never asked about her. The times I went over to Blockbuster, never saw her. Never thought to ask about her. And never saw her again in my life.
Oh.
And nobody ever saw her before then.
Really?
Yeah, nobody ever saw her. They were like, that girl's cute. Where's she from? I've never seen her. I swear on everything. The guy, Tim, the manager, goes, I've never seen her before. Where's she from? How do you know her? And like grilling me. How do you know her? Are you trying to talk to her? Because if not, well, introduce me to her,
But she supposedly had worked there.
Yeah.
Hell no. Nah. See? See?
Hey, you know if she's a good witch or not if a house falls on her, though.
Hey, I'll just say this. So for this story, and I will get a college professor to vouch for his portion of this story. It will come. A doctor, educated man to come and vouch for this. I promise you, right? This is one of the reasons, and I got about 10 other stories like this to why I am very open-minded.
Gotcha.
Just because you can't explain something doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
I can't explain.
Yeah, so.
No, nope. See, that's going a little too far. But no,
can I be excused?
Exactly. Let's go back to a little bit of a crazier time with being you. Just back when we were doing our club days, we go out, boys night. Mm-hmm. Back in the day and stuff like that. Just when we club together. I don't club. I don't club.
Oh no, he wasn't. Yeah, he was like he used to tell me back in the day too. It's kind of funny because he's transitioned. Well, now that it's like more super ballerish. He's like I didn't club. You go clubbing too much. I'll go every so often, but I don't really do the clubbing stuff. Yeah. And, now it's like we're getting bottle service.
Yeah. Now it's switched.
Right now
we're in Ibiza.
Now it's switched up. So now I do club a lot. I'm a little bit of a party boy, but. No, let's talk about the night that me, you, Kenny.
Okay, so shout out to K-Dub, Kenny Wilkins.
Yeah.
Kenny.
Yep, everybody knows Kenny on here. Good friend with the show. We go way back. Me and him, he was one of my first friends that would hit with the urban clubs, with me. Back in the day, he heard I'd go to the Buzz, so me and him started linking up going to the Buzz. Yep. So we'd ride out. That was my ride or die dude, going to all the different clubs. People didn't realize. People realized. I didn't realize because it's funny rolling around Arizona. They used to ask me, and sometimes when I introduced you guys to each other, you guys were a couple years apart, but this dude was the athlete of the year, basically, whether in his year, and Kenny was the athlete of the year in his year. So I'm rolling with these cats, like, how do you know? Paul Shields, Kenny Wilkins? What the hell? Did you play Paul here too? And I was like, no, I just, came out. It just happened that way. It just happened. I met both these cats. And they both had, he went on to Arizona. He went on to Colorado. He went to play Colorado in their heyday when they were making the run for the national championships. Right? Yep. He was a starter on that squad. In fact, my understanding is he would have actually been on the, the Bengals if he didn't blow his knee during, camp. Right. But with that said, so we're out of the club. So, this dude, what were you, like 6'2", 280 at the time, 270?
Yeah, I was about 260.
Okay. And Kenny's like probably 6'2", 6'3", right? 6'3",
yeah, exactly.
Probably like 245.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And then you got me, and I was
you still a big dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. And stuff, and so. And I was probably the hothead of the three of us back then.
Oh yeah, you were definitely the hothead. You've calmed down.
Yeah, cooled off.
Yeah. He did over the years.
I attest to that too.
Yeah. And so yeah, we go out for the night. And the night just seemed off from the start.
Yeah, it wasn't a traditional party night. It just everything that we were doing.
Forced. Even from us going to the ATM to get money.
Yeah.
Remember the biker dude that like said something funny. We're like, well, what's this dude talking about? Like whatever.
Exactly.
And then I remember because I remember I had the Dodge Magnum at the time.
Yeah,
remember?
exactly.
So I'm pulling us up in the Magnum, and then we go to I think Martini Ranch. We had, it was an okay time, but it felt off. We left a little early too. I remember we're like, yeah, you guys ready? Yeah, let's cut out. It's kind of whack, whatever.
Exactly.
So we're walking back, and in Scottsdale, Old Town Scottsdale was back in the day. You used to have to park blocks from the club. There's no,
Yeah, no close parking.
yeah, there's no close parking. And so we parked blocks away. We're starting to cross the back last street behind the club. And we see that, we're the three of us are crossing. These three big motherfuckers are crossing the street. And all of a sudden you see like this Escalade headlights from a block away. And it starts speeding up like it's, going to hit us. I'm like, what the fuck's this dude doing, So me and you kind of scoot up a little. Kenny's like, man, fuck that. And you got to understand the background. Kenny's like the nicest dude. He used to always yell at me, but hey, he did too. But like, why are you always starting shit with people? Like, not starting shit, but, trying to finish shit with people. Because, man, just let it go. Just let it go. You ain't got to, pick every fight with people. Like, if they, I always was one of those people about respect. And if you disrespect us, I'm going to check you. That's how I used to be.
Exactly.
Now, I'm a lot more spiritual, but so I don't know if you want to tell this part or what.
Yeah, so I mean, the car is like we're going down the back alley, and you guys know it's right where the hookah spot and Mitchell Fox's cigar bar is now. But that road going down there, the car is like speeding towards us, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this dude going?"
And he even leans into us.
He is.
Like me and Paul kind of move forward. Kenny
slow down. And so all three of us are walking across the street, and they get super close, and it wasn't like they were going to slow down and let us walk across. They just kept going.
Yeah.
So Kenny decides, fuck this. Puts a boot in the side of this Escalade.
That's it. And it was a doom.
Yeah.
And you see the dent.
You see the dent going in the side of the Escalade. It was crazy. So the Escalade goes about maybe 10, 15 feet.
Yeah, 10, 15 feet.
Yeah, and stops. And I look at him. I was like,
It's on.
"It's on. Y'all ready to go, boys?"
I remember, I had to take my sunglasses.
So back in the day, so it's three of us.
We don't know what's coming out the door.
Yeah, and we have zero clue what's about to come in the car, but we just know, it's on. It's on. We know we got to go to work, and so I think it was like I think 4 or 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
And
the driver gets out quick.
The driver gets out quick. He looks there.
And we open the side doors, which is not a smart move now.
Yeah.
Now, in today's age, you do not open doors on people because, hey, the stand the ground law, they could blast your face off,
Yeah.
Go look at these big motherfuckers,
Yeah.
Back then, we wouldn't think about it when we was hotheads.
Exactly.
I would open the doors.
Yeah, they open the doors, they get out, and we get out, and we're just like, "What's up?" Let's do that because we're walking towards them at this point, and this is when it gets so funny.
Yeah.
So they realize these are all like small little white dudes and stuff like that, and I think they realize they're bitten off a little bit more than they could.
Well, the dudes in the middle didn't want it. They said, we have no problem.
Yeah,
Our friend's a dumbass.
Yeah. And that's what they say. It was
Now the friend's by himself.
exactly. And they blame him. And he was like, Kenny punks us, dude. You got
So the dude gets out the car and he starts to try to walk to Kenny. And he looks, and Kenny's 6'3", 245, coming at him like a robot.
But that's what I'm saying is like they realized they done fucked up.
They're like, yeah. And they was like, whoa.
This is the moment.
Yeah.
They realized they fucked.
Yeah, exactly. And
Dave Chappelle moment.
And so Kenny keeps walking towards him like a fucking robot, like a focused robot. And the dude was trying to step to him, and then he walks back and starts backpedaling. Hey, I don't want any problems. And Kenny, like a robot, what'd you do? What do you mean? What'd I do? And he's like chasing him around the car like a robot. He goes, what'd you do? What'd you do wrong?
Tell me what you did wrong.
Tell me what you did wrong. And
like you tell her like I would tell my kids back in the day.
Yeah.
Tell me what you did wrong. Oh my gosh.
It was one of the funniest things.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever experienced other than we'll tell the story another time.
Okay.
Torch.
Hold me back. Yeah, we'll tell that story another time.
Oh, that's a great story. But anyway, the dude apologized.
Yeah.
They all of them got back in the car and took the fuck off.
Yeah. And I'm like,
They ain't want none of that smoke. They ain't want none of that smoke that night. And it actually, as shitty as that night was, it made the night.
we had a story for life. And here's the thing too. When the car stopped, I mean, let's put it this way. It was all slow motion for me. I remember Paul's like, it's on, and I'm like, and normally I'm like loud. And I was just like, man, I'm taking my sunglasses off, putting them in my pocket, just walking, because I'm processing going, these dudes are coming out either with guns, they MMA fighters, whatever. But either way, it's on. and whatever you're riding with your two brothers that are there.
Yeah, we gotta
you're
go.
riding with two brothers, and whatever happens, it happens. But you cannot let down because these people depend on you, and I depend on them, and that's what it felt like, and it was whatever. And thankfully, because I can be honest and say, thankfully, nothing happened. Nothing happened seriously. I mean, other than the dude had to get a dent out his car,
Exactly. We were by that story.
But he deserved that shit.
Well, I was gonna share a story,
yeah.
I'm not actually gonna hold off on it for the time. But just know, they call me Greedy Nick. I look like I'm an accountant, but I've had some crazy shit go on too, and I've been part of a lot of the crazy shit. And I'd rather get to this last story because this last story really enthralls all of us and other friends and a lot of people that we know, even family of mine. So I want to get into this Vegas story.
Yeah.
And I'll let you guys start it out because you guys were the ones that kind of got me involved.
Yeah. Oh man, this is one of my favorite stories of all time. Yeah. Like a lot. So back in the day, me, Mitch, and Ken, we owned a call center back in the day, and
Telemarketing, like it's call center sounds bad,
but we were building it up.
Yeah.
It was just one of those weeks where,
Just stressful. We had 30 employees.
Yeah, we had 30 employees at the time. It was just stressful at that time. But we had already had this. So me and Mitch, we were probably about 15 days apart as far as our birthday.
Yeah. We're both in January.
Both in January, so we had already sort of had planned for Vegas to go to Vegas. It was the AVN Awards that week.
And for those that know, the AVN Awards are the, I don't know the AVN, what the AVN stands for. I just know it's porn. Porn star.
Adult video network or something like that. Convention. I don't know. Anyway, so
Adult vixens at nighttime.
yeah.
But
So we had already scheduled to go. We were all scheduled, I think, to leave either Thursday or Friday originally, and we were just.
And I remember me and you got in this big argument on the floor. When you're passionate about what you do, you kind of go at it.
It's just like just brothers fighting and stuff like that, and then we got it, and
the whole employees are all looking at us like 30 employees. Damn,
but they don't understand that's just how we do it. And like I said, when you're passionate about you want something successful, it was
like a Wolf of Wall Street, but legal. I'd say it that way. And let me say this: so we're arguing back and forth. Shit, how many steak dinners, steak lunches did you used to come to every day?
I used to come in. Hey, you guys going to Outback for lunch again? I'll be there.
Yeah,
I work 30 minutes away. I don't care.
Hey, between Outback and Papados for lunch every day.
Oh, yeah.
We used to go out there, but I was just like I said, it was just a stressful week, and we were frustrated. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not going on Thursday. I'm leaving fucking tonight. It was a Wednesday.
He said it's right. Fuck it. I'm out. I'm going to Vegas right now.
Right now.
And then I remember the one thing I will remember though. He was mad and we were both frustrated with each other. He goes, I'm leaving. I'm going to Vegas right now. Love you, brother. See you in Vegas.
You always have to throw that. It was like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We were growing adults. We grew up together. We knew, we knew it all came from love and stuff like that. So, I got it. I did. I changed my flight. Took off.
So I'm sitting there the rest of the day going, dang, hold on, this shit's boring as shit right now. We made some good money at the time, but this just shows you life, like where life's at. It's like, I wish I could go back to a day where I sat in my office and counted money. You know what I mean? And I'm not, like on Facebook going, when do I get off from work? Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, it was a lot more to that, but it was the stress of the back end of it was so heavy that it didn't matter,
Right.
And so I sat there and so I turned to Ken. I go, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm out of here too. I'm going to call Don to pick me up and go to the airport. So the next day I go early, whenever I leave.
And so
and I heard about that. Mitch calls me and tells me he's going. So I talked to my boy Will and my friend Beth, and I was like, you know what? You guys want to go a day early? They're both like, sure, we don't have a hotel though. So my buddy Will's like, hey, I could get a hookup at the Wynn. I'll get a room for us. We'll just stay there for the night because we were all supposed to stay at the hotel at Mandalay Bay.
Yeah,
we all had rooms for Friday night and Saturday night. Yeah. And so I was like, forget it. We'll go stay at the Wynn for the first night. So we ended up jumping in the car that afternoon and driving out to Vegas and staying at this baller ass room at the Wynn. So we got to the Wynn and we just had a basic room. And my buddy was like, hey, do you guys have any upgrades? And he like slipped the lady some money. And she's like, well, we can put you into whatever, the executive, some kind of suite. And she's like, it's only $129 more. And at the time he owned a ticket business. He did really well for himself. So he's like, yeah, we'll do that.
Keep the party going.
Yeah. So we walk up into this room and it's literally bigger than my apartment at the time. 2 bedrooms, a full kitchen, a full floor to ceiling windows that open up for the whole length of the room.
Oh, that shit was crazy.
A private room for with a massage table just to call down to the spa and have them send up a masseuse to your room for you.
I love Vegas.
It was unbelievable. Like the room, the bed, king size beds had the TV that came right out of the foot of the bed, right? So you're laying in bed, you could just pop the TV up and watch it while you're laying in bed.
And this was 07.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like one of the nicest rooms I've ever stayed in, and we got it because we just decided to go a day early. So we get there, and I think Mitch was there, but he was doing his own thing. He had got a room at the.
Oh, so I did the old school. I took a Monte Carlo, but I'm one of these guys that I'd rather stay at a cool hotel and have the best room than to stay at the best hotel and have the worst room. I mean, and go figure. Plus, I also think my luck at gambling with the lower to middle casinos is better. Plus, Monte Carlo's old school had a reputation, and so I was actually supposed to go on Friday with 3 of my friends, female friends,
Right.
and I mean that like we're friends, and so they had a suite at the Lama or the hotel where you were staying,
Yeah,
and so they're just going with us. It's 2 beds, 2 bathrooms, but it's 3 girls and me, and I'm like, and so I'm like, kind of questioning, did I make the right decision to, room with them? They're love them. They're like, good friends of mine and stuff, right? And but I'm like, man, it's Vegas, and it's like, how many chances do you get to live it up in Vegas, So I'm sitting there going, well, I'm gonna do Thursday night. So I decided to just get the best room they had at the Monte Carlo, 30th floor, jacuzzi in the middle of the room, a bar, and then like a steam shower or whatever. And so I got that room, and yeah. So
The jacuzzi room.
yeah, the jacuzzi room, felt like Scarface and shit, I was looking at the strip, in the jacuzzi, watching your TV with your system bumping,
Yep.
whatever. So it was great. So Thursday was a good night. And then I think I remember I had a phone call Friday morning. Hey, Mr. Titano, are you going to book again for, Friday? And I had a good Thursday night. So, was it Thursday or was it Friday night? I can't remember now. No, you know what? I can't remember. I'm doing the story justice. I think it was Thursday night. So I go, you know what? Because Ken was coming with my money and my check because I didn't want to bring too much money. So I go, you know what? And these rooms were like, I think this room was like $500 a night or whatever, right? And so, and that was on Thursday. So I go, well, hold on, give me like a half hour real quick. So I go down to I had like $150 on me. I mean, I could have pulled some other shit, but I had $150. I go to the craps table real quick and I start playing craps. Next thing you know, like 30 minutes later, I win $1,500. I go back over. Yeah, I'm gonna stay for another night. I'm staying for the whole weekend. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. So anyway, yeah. So that's where that went. And then everybody started getting into town. Now it's getting real exciting because we had 10, 12 people with us.
Yeah, exactly. And it was Friday night. We've been in for a couple of days. You were in for a day. Nick, you were in, and we all got together. You had again. I think his name was B. He was a concierge dude, stuff like that.
VIP.
He has a car. Yeah. And we went over to Jet nightclub,
Which is now the One Up is in the Mirage. Yeah, but it was Jet back
but I think One Oak ain't even there no more. I think One Oak ain't even there no more.
Oh, sure. I know they're taking down. Aren't they taking down the Mirage? They're turning it into the
I think
Planet,
One Oak-
or what's it called? The what are they turning it into? Hard Rock, right?
yeah.
With the big guitar.
Yeah, well, they're moving up.
Casino?
Yeah,
That'd be a smart play, actually, because, they'll get more levels.
True.
right.
Yep.
But so,
But One Oak was the legendary spot for a while,
yeah. But we went over, Jet that night. Man, had a great night. Bottle service, of course, just partying up, stuff like that. And of course, we said, okay, well, we're in Vegas. Last time we were here, we had a great time. Spearmint Rhino. Let's run it back.
Yeah.
So we all go back over to, all
Girls, guys, everything. Yeah.
girls, guys go all over to Spearmint Rhino.
What happened to you, Nick? You and Will?
We hung out till like 4:30, and then we wanted to go. We couldn't get a cab at 4:30 in the morning outside Spearmint Rhino, so we walked back to Mandalay Bay.
From Spearmint Rhino.
Spearmint Rhino, because we woke up in the morning at the Wynn. We checked out, then we went over and checked into our hotel in the afternoon.
How long was that walk?
That was a hike.
I don't even remember. I just remember it took us about 45 minutes or an hour. I don't remember how long.
Yeah,
I was so pissed. The sun was coming up as we were getting into the hotel.
Yeah, that had to be
I was so pissed.
hike. So this Spearmint Rhino adventure wasn't like
Yeah, no.
the first one, and definitely it was definitely different. We had gone there. It wasn't popping the way it was. It kind of had changed a little bit, and so we were walking out. We were actually all walking out.
No. That was a little bit before that. It was before that.
Yeah.
Can I tell the story?
Yeah, go ahead,
All
man.
right, so okay, your ex-wife at the time,
Yeah.
right? Okay, she's a blonde, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so she comes over to me because she knows, to come to me because I was like, the brother, her brother.
Yeah, yeah.
And she goes, "Hey, can you believe what this bitch over here said?
Yeah,
Whatever."
yeah, yeah.
And there was
Okay, got you,
there
yeah.
was a sister
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was a dancer,
Yep.
and so she was like, and I'm just gonna keep it 1,000.
Yep.
And she goes over to Kim, which I mean, come on, let's be honest, be real. Like, why, get your money, mind your business,
Gotcha.
And she comes over, oh, and blah 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 blah, and your man's a sellout dating you and all this stuff or whatever. So she tells me that shit. So I'm heated. So me and Ken go up, and so I go up with some money or whatever, and I'm throwing it, and I go throw it. I go throw it to the girl next to her. I go, hey, you get this money here, not you, bitch, whatever. And I said whatever. I go and I start saying a couple things, but then Ken goes a little further, and he fucking I think throws the money and hits her with it or something.
Crumpled it up in a ball.
Yeah, and hits her with it.
Yeah.
And then I don't think anything of it, whatever. And I'm not condoning any of that, but it's the true story. She was talking shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, but she got the money. But,
Yep.
it was, I mean, I've heard Mayweather and all them do that shit too. And I'm not saying that justifies any of it. But, and we were defending our boy. I mean, like how are you going to talk shit? Just make your money and live life. You don't even know people. Why are you judging, Like, or why you have an opinion other than being a hater, And we were drunk and we were, whatever. So I don't think anything of it. We're trying to look for Ken, whatever. We're finally done because that ruined the whole
You kinda
time.
ruined the whole-
We're out. Let's get the fuck out of here,
Yep.
So we're starting to get ready to leave. I'm like, where the fuck's Ken? Where the fuck's Ken? And all of a sudden, we're waiting out front, and you see him get pushed.
Yep.
And he gets pushed again.
Yep.
And then he gets pushed again by the bouncers.
Yep.
So now, me, I'm over there like a pit bull.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? I'm like, squaring up on a bouncer or whatever. And then all of a sudden, all the bouncers come out, and we're talking shit. And then they send the big 6'7" guy to talk to me, whatever. And so I give him one of these. He goes, look, bro, just chill out. Blah, blah, blah. I give him the fake right, left, run around to get to the other guy. And then next, they push a couple of us or whatever, and they break it up. And basically, it's get in your car. We're calling the cops, whatever. But I mean, and then they're wrong. They had a bunch of bouncers that night.
They did. And like I said, we were drunk, and back in the day, we were a little bit more, hotheads and stuff. And what frustrated me was I was trying to
They pushed one of the girls. Yeah.
and I was trying to get everybody.
That's what got me.
I was trying to get everybody back in the limo, in the car, and they were still talking shit, and that was my problem. So you pushed me to when. You know me, I'm cool until I'm not.
Yeah.
And so that's when I flipped on them. And I told them, I said, listen, you may get me, but one of you motherfuckers are coming with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they knew I was serious and hard.
Yeah.
And so that's why, they slowed down a little bit because they started thought about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be that one. That
Yeah. Someone's going to get hurt.
Somebody going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it left a bad taste in my mouth.
I think I've been back since.
No, I haven't been back to Rhino since because of that reason. It's just
I talked to a girl from there, but I never been back.
Yeah, it's just terrible, But Friday night that was Friday night. We ended up going back. Saturday. Our Saturday was a lot better.
And what's crazy? At first, Saturday started out kind of sketchy because we were supposed to go back to Tao. If you guys remember the old story, we talked about Tao. So we were going to get plugged in because that experience was so amazing. Right. We wanted to do Tao again. AVN Awards, Tao would have been the ultimate, right? But, at that time.
But guess who bought that out?
It's your boy.
Jay-Z and Beyonce had
private party.
Had bought Tao out that night, so we couldn't go to there.
Yep.
But luckily, with your boy B, he had connections all over Vegas, so he got us into Body English
at the Hard Rock, which was
at the time. Oh my gosh, that thing was off the
from
hook.
The start. First of all, walking past everybody, the casino line out the building to get in.
Hey, the walkway to get to that place was literally wall to wall people. People couldn't even move. It was so crowded.
I mean, it looked like
he had us up against the wall, and he's just walking us straight to the front of the line.
And everybody's looking like, who the fuck are these people? And we're walking past the people. Honestly, we're walking past the people with bottle service too.
Yep.
We walk past the bottle service line.
Yeah, and we walk in. We got to go up in several groups in this because it's a small ass elevator. This guy. Yeah. This little person, he's standing up on a stool, and he runs the elevator that's taking us up to our table or something like that. Yeah. And they finally get us up there. But
he was dressed like a leprechaun too. Yeah, he was on a stool.
Oh man, it was so dope. So they had us in this back area, which was amazing. You could overlook
the dance floor.
The dance floor.
It was like second level.
Oh man, it was second level. It was beautiful. Mm-hmm. They was bringing over girls. It was just it was a like 1,000% Vegas experience.
And you know what? It all climaxed to when they played, we fly high, no lie, it's bowling.
That was the one thing I remember about that bar. some girl comes out of the bathroom, hot girl. She had stuffed her dress or her skirt into her like pantyhose, so she's walking out her ass is just hanging out the back. She's walking through the club. I was just like, God damn.
Bet you don't have IG and TikTok, huh?
I know.
Yeah, this is before social media.
There might be a picture or two floating around there.
Yeah.
I do have the vault, remember?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's like the Epstein Island, but for
Yeah, exactly.
legit shit.
Hey, little do you guys know, Nick has incriminating photos and videos on all of us.
If anything happens, the vault's released. Just know.
It is crazy.
NicksVault.com.
Yeah, exactly. So, we always have to watch him because he threatens to release some kind of video or audio or something else. Something on us and stuff like that. But no, we partied that night. So, really hard. I remember it was time for us to leave. Mitch and a friend of ours, we won't name any names, might be one of the girls from Friends. If you ever watch Friends, one of our,
Who, Phoebe?
no, the other one.
Oh, Rachel.
No, not even Rachel.
Maybe.
her name-
Maybe a different one.
well,
We're not going to say names.
yeah, we're not going
I don't even know Friends that well.
but she's a friend. She's a friend of ours. But anyway, they've always had this connection, this kind of sexual energy between each other, and I thought it was going to happen that night.
That was going to be the night.
And I pulled her girlfriend away from you, and I was like, "This is going to be the night." I'm proud of him. I was waiting to hear all the good stories, come in the morning time, and Sunday morning rolls around, and I call you. It's your birthday. I'm thinking, hey,
It's actually literally my birthday, too.
yeah, I'm calling you, and I'm like, Mitch. So how'd it go last night?
And let me just say this, in all fairness, these guys know me, though, truthfully. If stuff goes down, I may not tell you. You know what I mean? Like, I may not tell you. I'm the king of that because,
But you was going to tell your boy.
But here's the thing. If it didn't go down and the manner in which, I'll tell you.
Right.
Like I'm more the opposite of it, and so I'll just say this. Now, it's crazy, but we get back to my hotel room. And me, I think, we got all day and all night. So, hey, you want a drink? Let's order some steaks. Let's whatever. I'm like, let's go.
I'm like, what is steak?
Hey, go back downstairs, get another bottle of Goose. I got bottles of, I got bottles in the fridge of
Champagne.
Yeah, I have bottles of what's it called? I can't even think of Dom P because we were gonna pop them for your birthday.
Yeah.
I got like 2 bottles from Costco, and now everybody thinks they're $1,000 bottles because you brought them into, put them in your fridge. But no, so. I just remember, talking about this. We go downstairs, grab some liquor. I'm like, oh, we can fire up the hot tub, whatever, And next thing you know, I wake up in my clothes on the bed with a note saying, "You passed out."
Oh my
Out. You pulled the subway.
Whoa, bro, hold on. You gotta understand. Like I said, I ain't gonna say who she is, but she's still fine. But she fine. I mean, in her prime, she was
I'll just say this: she is an amazing person.
a person. But I'm telling you, she's fine as hell. And you fucked that up. But anyway,
Hey, let's put even Walter Payne fumbles at the goal line sometimes.
Hey, well, we got to get into Sunday now because Sunday's where the real fun begins.
Redemption Sunday.
Yes,
Redemption Sunday. So we gotta catch flights. We all gotta go home. But it's actual Mitch's birthday that Sunday. So we said, hey, Mitch, you gotta stay. You gotta stay for your birthday. And B's still in town.
And I did win. I did win. Here's what's crazy. I still remember the football games we bet on. Speaking of betting, I remember Sean Alexander and the Seahawks were 8.5 dogs against the Bears. So I took the Seahawks, and I remember Manning and them were dogs against the Ravens, and I took Manning and them, and and then won both those easy. Me and Ken made some big money.
And then party that you end up partying that night.
Here's the crazy. I was so tired. I was seriously tired, like deliriously tired. But B convinced me, hey man, the best party night. It's your actual birthday, bro. You can't go home. Yeah, Schoolgirl Sundays is the hottest party in Vegas. They all wear like the Britney Spears skirts and stuff. It's the craziest, and it's Avian Awards. You got to go. And Ken's like, bro, I'll just get you another flight. We'll book a different flight. Just come back. Come back Monday. And so I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, cool. But even when I was trying to get ready, I can't bring myself up. Like I don't use Peds. I do Red Bull and vodka. That's it. And the shit ain't working. I'm like, fuck. I'm like tired. We get to the club. I go, B, what's the bottle minimum? Normally 3, but I got you. It's 1 bottle for you, bro. So he goes, you got to tip a dude $100, and we walk past everybody. It's even a bigger line than it was twice as packed as when we went.
Right.
So we get a table by the porn stars again,
Right.
at the Avian Awards.
Right.
And at first they're like, hey, so I go to the bathroom, and I guess he asked B because B was with me, the whole time. He goes, hey, do you think Mitch wants chicks up here? Yeah, he does. I come back, there's 10 girls sitting on the table with us. And then some dudes from the other night that walked by, they were from the Bay Area that were dancing with us on the table. So, hey, bro, we got weed, hey, we got that Bay Area weed. You want some? Hey, can we kick it with you? So now there's like 4 of them, and now it's a bunch of us, and now there's a party. Come on, let's get 2 more bottles. Let's keep it going, whatever. Cool. This is just me by myself, right? And I'm bottling out. All of a sudden, like, people start coming up, and I remember I had these pair of Chanel glasses that just came out, and my philosophy was, I'm going to pay $700, $800 for these glasses because every chick knows Chanel, and they have the little bling on the side. So I'm like, and they worked. Everybody's, can I put on your glasses? Can I try your glasses? But I think even Beth tried to steal them or something.
Probably.
And so I just remember all these girls coming up to me because someone said it was my birthday. So they're all like, can we take a picture? Can we take a picture? Can we take a picture? So I'm taking pictures like 20, including the porn star chicks. They're coming up. I'm like, this is crazy. What the fuck? Like, there's like a line of chicks wanting to take pictures. All of a sudden, these chicks from Australia come up. We don't care about American football. I'm like, I don't either. There's no, serious. And then he goes, B hits me. I told him he played for the Raiders. I'm like, what? Motherfucker. I don't front on my shit normally,
So you got them all coming.
And then he goes, hey, I also told him that you got an after party at your penthouse and you got champagne on tap and everything else. So next thing you know, he goes, man, I got a limo coming for us. So he gets a stretch limo for us, which, by the way, on Saturday night, he got a stretch limo from you. Me and old girl. Like, so we're in a summer limo going back to, so this was the biggest treatment ever,
Right.
So he did that. So it's me, him, a couple dudes from the Bay Area, and these girls from Australia.
Right.
We come back, and I'll just say this, like, so I go into we're partying, we're drinking the champagne. I actually get on a couple of freestyle raps that people didn't know. They're like, damn, you could rap, because someone had a video camera too. Mm-hmm. So I'm rapping. So if someone has that video, send that to me, But but anyway, so I go into the bathroom real quick because it's a big ass bathroom, and I'm talking to the girl from Australia. She goes, hey, Mitch, kick everybody out. I'm like, what? Kick everybody out? She goes, yeah, let's just hang out. I just want to hang out with you. Kick everybody out. I'm like, and I ain't the type of guy to break up a party, it's a hater move, Come on, but now the girl wants to hang out. Let's go. So, hey, I got a better idea. So she goes, let me get one of your shirts. So I take my button off shirt, so I just my t-shirt. She is in her drawers and my button up shirt. Mm-hmm. And we go downstairs to the lobby. And I bring him a bottle of Goose, and I go downstairs, and I'm like, and I'm smashed this time. I go, hey, I need another jacuzzi suite real quick. And they're like, Mr. Titano, you already have a jacuzzi suite. I need another one. Okay, here you go, whatever. So we go to another room, and what's it called? We hang out. And then the next morning, we go back up. Her friend's, in the bed by herself.
Yeah.
So then we hop in the jacuzzi.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I get a phone call. Hey, don't forget your flight.
Yeah.
You guys call over. Hey, Mitch, don't forget you got a flight, man. How was your night? I said, hey, how was your night? Don't forget your flight. I go, hold on a second. Hey, say hi, ladies. They go, hey, hi. So, yeah.
Anyway, he caught his flight. You did get home. He did go home nice and safe, and he had an amazing birthday. So, my boy.
We made up for Saturday night.
Yes.
Actually, I don't know if I did, but because I can't even say.
No.
I can't even say nothing. I can't even say nothing.
Guilty.
Guilty.
But hey, this is our first edition of our stories. We're going to have a few more of these, plus some guests. Hey, we'll check you guys out next week. Thank you for listening. 2 out of 10 podcast.
Appreciate the support.
We out, baby.